What is up, guys? It is KikiZilla101 here yet again, and today we are going to be doing an overview video of all of the new dinosaur slash prehistoric animal 2018 figures from Safari Limited, CollectA, Schleich, and Papo. So as you guys know, and probably hopefully have already seen, I've made a video on each of these separate companies talking about my opinions and thoughts of all of their new figures, as well as showing them off to you guys. I've also been asking you guys the questions like what your thoughts of them are, but feel free to also leave those thoughts down here in the comment section of this video. So first off, I'm just gonna kind of go through with my overview of all the companies. For Safari Limited, I think this is a pretty good year. It's definitely holds up to their most recent years. I think it's a fantastic year. I really like that they added a lot of Cenozoic mammals. That's great for the fans of Cenozoic mammals. They added that stuff, so that's great. I'm actually a huge fan of the Hyaenodon and the Macrocania, and I'm actually starting to consider to get the Daeodon and possibly the Mastodon. So I think that this year actually might start me on collecting Cenozoic mammals, just because the figures they've made are so cool. They just have a lot of great figures that really hold up, but they also have a couple that are kind of sketchy. Like the Anzu and the Amargasaurus are a little unsafari-like, and the Unitetherium is, you know, kind of just looks a little bad, but it might just be the angle of the picture. Then there's the the Megacerops, which is it's pretty good, but I feel like it could be done a little better. So overall, I just think this is a solid year from Safari Limited. I just I feel like there's a couple weak figures inside this lineup, a couple weak links. So, you know, but you know, you get that every year. I don't really think there was for 2017, but either way, this is a solid year for for Safari Limited, and I'm really happy to get, or excited to get, a lot of these figures. For CollectA, we got a bunch of really unique stuff. We got a Brontosaurus, we got an Astemnosuchus, we got a Gomphotherium, Scuriomimus, we got the Mantellisaurus. I personally would have preferred if they didn't make either the Mantellisaurus or the Iguanodon. I'm leaning towards the Iguanodon. Just because they both are iguanodonts, you know, they're in the family, and they're just really similar silhouettes and stuff. It's really similar. I mean, Safari did two Ceratopsians, but they're different enough for me to justify that. The Mantellisaurus and the Iguanodon are literally like the same thing, except one's smaller and has a different color scheme. It's just, I don't feel like it's well enough justified. And actually, since I've made my CollectA video, I've actually heard a lot of people that don't like the new T-Rex figure. I'm actually, you know, I don't really dislike it. I'm actually looking forward to getting it. It has a pretty cool pose, especially just put on my shelf. And I was really not a big fan of the original feathered Tyrannosaurus because it just had a really long tail, and I wasn't really a fan of the really flashy color scheme. It just looked weird. But this one looks good in my opinion. I'm really looking forward to getting it, even though it's really not very functional for me to use in any series or anything like that. I'm still really looking forward to getting it. I think I absolutely will. The Ceratosaurus is absolutely getting me pumped up. They made a Dunkleosteus, which is really cool. They made it really scientifically accurate. It's the first Dunkleosteus we have with actual skin covering up the armor plating, which is cool. Although it didn't cover up the lips, which I guess is speculative, and I don't really prefer that look anyway, so I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that, but, you know. So yeah, it's just a solid year from CollectA. I think this is the CollectA's best year I've seen yet. This year has absolutely blown me away. I'm actually gonna probably get, you know, an equal percentage of their figures compared to how I'm getting Safari's. So that's really impressive in my opinion. Obviously, I said I was gonna be getting all of Safari Limited's dinosaurs because I want to support them, but they have a couple Cenozoic mammals in here, and I'm not really gonna get them, especially the Megacerops and the Unitetherium. But I might end up getting the Megacerops. I'm not sure yet though. Either way, CollectA's done a great lineup this year. I'm really impressed with them. The only figures I'm not impressed with from their line is the Mapusaurus and the Iguanodon. We've already discussed the Iguanodon, but the Mapusaurus just looks a little weird. Its figure's off. It's not very bulky. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, let's move on to Schleich. We got only 5 figures from Schleich this year, but oh my god, I'm looking forward to every single one of them except the Tawa. I don't really care for the Tawa. But the Triceratops looks absolutely amazing. I'm definitely getting that. The Psittacosaurus, I really want that. I love Psittacosaurus. I am so hyped for their Dino Gorgon, and the Oviraptor looks great. So I think that this year from Schleich was absolutely great, and none of them look Schleichy. It's amazing. I think this year they by far improved the most. I would say. I think that Schleich has improved the most out of all the companies. I'd say CollectA's improved a lot as well. Safari Ltd I think went a little down with a couple of figures from last year, but some of the figures went up. So it's a really mixed year for Safari Limited, but either way I think it's a solid good one. But I definitely think Schleich made a huge improvement this year. Papo, I would also, when I get into Papo, I'd like to comment on the Margosaurus. It came to my attention yesterday when I was rewatching my video that I made on it, that I'd never really took into consideration that the Amargasaurus could be a miniature, and I was kind of bagging on Papo's figure. But I haven't seen any official measurements, and I keep looking it up everywhere. I can't find where the actual, like, original post is for it, so I don't know how big it is. If it is a miniature, then I'm gonna give him a pass for that Margosaurus. If it's not, if it's like, you know, 3+ inches long, I am going to be very disappointed. That it would be a very poor figure from Papo. So we'll see with that. But the Iguanodon, you know, interesting. The Compy, I expected that. The Juvenile Spinosaurus looks a little odd to me, but you know, and the tail bothers me. If you guys are wondering, if you haven't seen my Papo video yet, and you're wondering what's up with the tail with the Juvenile Spinosaurus, go and watch that. The link to it will be in the description, and you'll see I put an extra photo there. The Therizinosaurus looks cool, and the more and more I look at it, the more and more I want it. I think all of my concerns with it or disappointments with it are really dulled down now. Really, it's only the proportions of the legs and the arms and the claws that are bothering me at this point. The Quetzalcoatlus looks great, definitely want that, and the Acrocanthosaurus looks amazing. So I think that this is just another solid year from Papo. As usual, they have really good figures I'm looking forward to. Pretty much the bottom 3 there, the Quetzalcoatlus, and the Therizinosaurus and Acrocanthosaurus, even though the Acrocanthosaurus is a repaint. The top 4 I'm not really looking forward to, especially the Margosaurus. Well, I'm going to disqualify that because I don't really know if it's big or not. I'm not really looking forward to the Juvenile Spinosaurus or the Iguanodon. I might end up getting the Compy, though, just because it's like the only Compy figure made. So, but either way, I think that all of this year in general was a really good year. There's tons of figures I want. I think that by far the company that did the worst this year was Papo, in my opinion, which is a little surprising because I figured they would get a little higher than Schleich, but I am more impressed with Schleich this year, and I like their figures more than I like Papo's. Really, the only ones I like is the bottom 3. That I can understand why people would like the Compy, but I don't really care for it too much. And the Juvenile Spinosaurus and the Iguanodon just look a little weird to me. But Schleich, you know, amazing year. CollectA, great, just absolutely fantastic year. Only 2 figures I really have a problem with. And then, you know, Safari Limited, which is awesome. They have a really diverse year. Just a couple figures that I think the sculptors didn't do too well on. Excuse me. But other than that, it's a solid year from Safari Limited as well. So this is just an absolutely fantastic year. I'm going to say that my top 5 favorite figures from all of the companies for this year, and the ones I'm most excited for, is number 1 is the Ankylosaurus from Safari Limited. I'm super excited for that. Number 2 is the Hyenodon from Safari Limited. I'm super hyped for that one as well. Number 3 is the Ceratosaurus from CollectA. Number 4 is the Acrocanthosaurus repaint from Papo, and number 5 is the new Dimetrodon from CollectA. and that's my top 5 most anticipated figures for this year. Please let me know what your top 5 are inside the comment section below. I'm really anxious to hear all your guys' responses. Tell me you guys your thoughts of all of the different companies, anything you have complaints, any impressions, and anything like that. I'd love to hear any of your thoughts down in the comment section below, so please let me know. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.